Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect, the blacks, Hispanics, Native American, the descendants of slaves scattered throughout the earth, descendants of Judah and Israel, the southern kingdom of Israel, and the northern kingdom of Israel. We've been given the warning and waving the warning flag and setting the alarm to the people because it's a punishment for consenting to the beast. And when you consent to this beast and these kings of the earth, you are doing a great disservice to the next kingdom, and you are eliminating yourself from the book of life. Now, Revelation 13 goes into the ultimatum that the beast will give the whole world. That ultimatum, if you don't obey, you won't be able to buy or sell. Now, when you go into 14, it gives the punishment. What is it? Verse 9 of Revelation 14. Saying the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, meaning obey the beast, and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without measure into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So this is the punishment that these individuals are going to receive for receiving this mark, which is pretty much obeying these governments on earth. When the government start to mandate and give ultimatums about what you should and should not do, and you won't be able to participate in society and that's pretty much death, because when you can't participate in society, it's like what it says in Sirach 40, I think in the 18th verse, it says a poor man is like being dead. It's better to be dead than be a poor beggar. That's what it says. And so when you get locked out of society and you can't buy and sell, it's like they're killing you. That's why in verse 15 of Revelation 13 verse 15, it say, and he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See, they're going to be locked out of society where they can't buy or sell and provide for themselves. See, that's how these individuals, when they don't obey, they're going to be killed. Not in a literal way, just like in Revelation 11:11, it's close to a spiritual killing, because 11:8 say their dead bodies line the street of the great city. They're not going to be literally dead, It's just they're spiritually dead. They don't know who they are. So in this sense, they're going to be killed because they're going to be a beggar. They're not going to be able to buy or sell because they're not going to receive that mark. Because it's going to be people that's not going to receive the mark. When you go back to chapter 14, it says, let's see here. Chapter 14. See if they say anything about written in the book of life. No, let's go to Revelation 20. Revelation 20. It says, 20 verse. Well, you know what? Let's get 15. I think it's in 15. 15. Let's see here. No, not in 15. What about 16? Nope, not in 16 either. So yeah, let's go back to Revelation 20 and 12. That's what I think I'm thinking about. Revelation 20 and 12. It says, and I saw the dead, small and great, standing before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their deeds. Okay. So these individuals that didn't take the mark, they are gonna be written in that book of life, because they didn't receive the mark. For those that received the mark, they wasn't written in the book anyway. Okay. So this is the time that we're living in, because we're hearing that mandate go across the world from America to Australia to China. People are mandating this and mandating that. And it's mainly where the children of Israel reside. They are being threatened with this mandate of pretty much locking them out of society when it comes to their jobs, or when it comes to their living, buying and selling certain stores. And they've given out more. They says more mandates are coming. So it's just the beginning of the beast starting to ramp up his assault on the children of Israel. And so let's get one more verse. Chapter 12 of Revelation. And let's see here. Just give 17. It say the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua. Now, Revelation 12 and 17 this is how they're gonna come with their mandates, because they're gonna have an excuse to attack, because they already in verse 10 through let's see here, verse 10 through 16, it talks about this beast accusing them of doing something. And it says, In verse 15, it says, the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. And that water that's coming out of the mouth of the serpent, that's what the accusations that they're going to put on these children of Israel. Oh, they didn't want to obey the beast. They didn't want to consent to the beast, the government. See, they didn't want to consent, and they're terrorists, or they're just rebels, and they're the cause of the situation. It's all their fault. And so that's how they're going to wage war on the children of Israel. And then the major war, World War III, is going to happen. Then that's when the Most High is going to step in. I'm going to end on that one. Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59 and what is it? 19, it says, so they shall fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. See, that's what that serpent, a flood came out of his mouth. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So when they get to persecuting the children of Israel, the faithful children of Israel, the elect, they're gonna, the Lord's gonna lift up a standard. And that standard is gonna be involving World War III, with the nations attacking each other, and the people attacking each other, and all chaos and anarchy is happening in the streets, and mass death happening. That's one part of that standard. And so while the chaos is going on, it might be some that have to be faithful until death, like Revelation chapter 2. And because it say the devil shall throw some of you in prison. Not going to be a spiritual angel throwing anybody in the prison. It's going to be the government throwing people in the prison because they're not obeying them, because they are the beast. This beast that's going to mandate individuals to obey them. And so this is the climax. We're hearing it on the news, on that media, that witchcraft box. That media goes back into a spiritual medium. It's a spiritual medium, and the words that are spoken are spirit. See, because when you go to I think it's Kings, either 2 Kings 22, it talks about a lying spirit. See, it's a lying spirit, and it's a spirit of truth. That's why he say the true worshipers will worship in spirit and truth. So it's a lying spirit, and it's a truthful spirit. And the lying spirit, that's what's coming across the medium of these, the beasts, and their communication to their population. And so through their media, that's how they are conveying the deception. And we seeing it every day. And so we know we're right at the door of the beast attacking the 12 tribes, and World War III popping off, and the Great Tribulation. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Mikakadash. Double honors to the elders. Peace to the elect. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.